Aaron Whitlow.
Yeah, I'm Brandon Spivey, and look at this guy over here. Got all the enthusiasm. He's excited. What are you excited about today, Aaron?
Not Ant-Man and the Wasp, but no, I'm just playing.
Not Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm just playing. And we are podcasters.
You kind of went out on me.
During the podcast, but I cannot answer it. But anyway, so yes, we are the Markout Movie Podcasters, and on today's episode, we are going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let me get some lights. Oh, I can't do it. Just stuck with what you got, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have the overhead lights on. Brandon is well lit as usual.
Nah, it looks all grainy from my point of view.
Can't hear you, Brandon.
You can't hear me. Did you turn my mic
Brandon,
off?
we can't hear your voice.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm not muted.
Yeah. Nothing.
Hang on.
I don't know. So we are live, and Brandon's voice is. Let's see what's going on here. Private chat.
Yeah.
Did I mute you?
Yes. Now I don't know where he went. But we are reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp today. I don't really know where to go here because he's supposed to give the synopsis. I will give you the numbers. I'll go ahead and give you the numbers. Now Aaron's coming back.
Brandon, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're back, so you can tell us what the movie's about. I was about to do it.
Yeah. So, well, before we get to what the movie's about, as we typically do, we're going to talk about what we watched. Oh, geez. I hate doing it on my phone because the layout sucks. What we watched. So, I'll start by a few things I can talk about now that I've watched. I did watch some that Brandon watched, and I've also watched Top Gun Maverick. We can talk about that now.
You can talk about it. Okay.
Yeah. So I absolutely enjoyed it. So I watched the very first one for the first time this past week, and then I went straight from finishing that, picking up my granddaughter and going to the movies to watch the new one. And all I can say is the new one is a far superior movie than the original.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too.
Yeah. And I can understand. I can understand what you're saying as far as you don't necessarily need. You don't necessarily need to have the. You don't need to see the original to get it. I think it helps, but it's not a necessity because they show enough of the original.
Yeah, they go into what happened in the original. The main things. It's all over the new one, especially with Goose, and Rooster, and that relationship. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that has not seen, but I think a lot of people have seen it. It's close to making $1 billion at the global box office. That's incredible. Tom Cruise has never made that. This is probably, I think it's officially his biggest film ever, money-wise. That's incredible. As long as he's been going, he's done this. Like, he never crossed 100 million mark domestically ever in his career until Maverick. So I loved it myself. I thought it was amazing. It's one of my favorite films of the year, if not the best. It's in my top 5, no doubt. Where does it stand for
you? So far of the year, I would say that it's in the top. It's in the top 10 at least.
Top 10.
Yeah, so far. But there's not many that I've seen this year. But I can tell you another one that's actually absolutely in my top 10. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once. At least it's in my top 10. And I would say No Way Home. Those are the 3 that I can confidently say
That came out last year.
No Way Home came out last year.
It was our number one.
Oh yeah, it did. Never mind. But then scratch that. Um, I'd say Fresh. No, X. X would probably be within the top 10 so far. No, Scream, definitely so far. Yeah,
I would say
but
those.
Fresh is getting there. Fresh, and then X. Both of them were interesting movies. But yeah,
Yeah, I would say both of those, Scream and X, would be in my top 10 as well. Uh, I got a lot more misses this year early, and it's like halfway through the year. I got a lot more than I had last year. So I don't know if I even got a top 10 movies I really loved this year. But what else did you see?
I was able to see uh, Miss Marvel on Disney Plus. Obviously, I'm watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is excellent. But I got to see Miss Marvel. I got a screener to see the first, I think, two episodes. So far only the first episode is released on Disney Plus, which is a good show. It's interesting. Um, it's a very interesting show, but that's all I can really say. It's interesting. Now, the best thing that I've seen this week has got to be The Boys season three. Although right now the first four episodes is on Prime right now. I've seen the whole season. I absolutely thought it was great show, and I can't wait to see what happens. It got me in the mood of watching that type of superhero film like that, or show
Yeah.
like that, or Invincible, or even Umbrella Academy. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, no, The Boys is probably the best satire for the MCU and DCU that I've ever seen. So yeah, it's really good.
Satire, huh?
Yeah, it's filled with satire. And those characters like spot on, like other characters. Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely great.
I didn't know it was satire, though. I thought it was
Well,
like a dark, gritty comic book
well,
show.
no, it's no, it's satire. You'll watch it and you'll get the feel of other things that you've seen in DC and Marvel. You'll get those feels for both of them. Um, yeah, so yeah, absolutely. That's all I've seen that I can think of that really stood out to me. Brandon,
Well, me and my son, we finished watching the Jurassic Park World franchise to get ready for this weekend. So I finished those. I am not excited. I watched Fallen Kingdom and I just like, oh man, I was like, yeah, I remember I hated this movie. It killed my excitement. Then the reviews came out about the new one, and it's just I'm not excited. Other
you're
than
really looking forward to Elvis, right? You're kind of skipping ahead in time, right?
yeah, yeah, all I've seen was Elvis. I watched all the biopics they have done of him. The last concert he ever did, which was sad and tragic. It just the way he looked, it just broke my heart to see him like that. And he needed help, and there was no help to be given apparently. But yeah, and I'm starting his movies that he did, so that's all I've seen. I didn't watch a whole lot of new. I didn't watch anything new, so you got me beat on that. But
Yeah,
that's me.
that's what I'm here to do. Uh, also, new shows, new movies that you can watch. I haven't watched yet, but they are out. Hustle on Netflix, which is a new Adam Sandler film. It looks like it's a little bit more serious. Like I said, Miss Marvel. Um, I think there's a few other things. I know the new trailer for Black Adam has dropped. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Um,
there's a new action movie on Netflix, Interceptor.
okay.
It's directed by author Matthew Riley. He's like the hardcore king of action in novels. I haven't seen it, but it's got a lot of talk. It's like number 2 on Netflix this week. So if anyone's
Okay.
interested and you like action movies, He's like Michael Bay ish, you know, that style. But hopefully he can tell a story.
Well, so all right, so we're gonna go ahead and skip to what we are here for: Ant-Man and the Wasp. I do have it up now, Brandon. So
Have it up.
Scott Lang balances being both a superhero and a father. It's not accurate, but I guess he kind of balances that. Hope Van Dyke, I'm sorry, and Dr. Hank Pym present an urgent new mission that finds the Ant-Man fighting alongside them. The Wasp is uncovering secrets from their past. Starring Paul Rudd as Scott Lang once again, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, my boy Michael Pena, is that his name? As Lewis, and then Walton Goggins, who I love from Justified, as Sonny Birch. And there's a host of other people. T.I.'s in this movie. Michael Douglas is in it. Lawrence Fishburne with some pretty good de-aging software at one point in this movie.
Yes.
Brandon, you got the numbers?
I do have the numbers. I have the numbers. It has, well, when we get to it, a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 2.8 out of 5 on Rate Your Music. I don't know where that came from.
That's Brandon.
88% on Google. It's got an 87% Rotten Tomato score with an 81% audience score. So it is certified fresh.
Well, let's talk about this movie. Let's see. So, first thing, how do you top, was it 2016? Ant-Man, I believe it's 2016. 2015, I'm sorry. Ant-Man, how do you top that? You don't. That's the answer. Not saying that this is a bad movie, but the first movie was like, and you kind of get this with Guardians of the Galaxy as well. It's like lightning in a bottle, the first one, and then the second one is not bad, but it just doesn't live up to the original. And that's how I felt about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I felt like
it didn't hit the right chords. It's entertaining. Like, you're not going to come out of it feeling disappointed or hating the movie. I don't think you will.
Or watching your watch, yeah, you're not going to.
I think you'll be entertained by it, but it doesn't live up to the first film. I feel there was a lot more Michael Douglas in this film. In theory, I like that aspect because that's what I wanted, but it just didn't work right. I don't know. It didn't feel right. You know, I felt like there's a lot more screen time for Michael Douglas. Mm-hmm. Hardly any screen time for Michelle Pfeiffer.
And I was going to mention that we have the return of Michelle Pfeiffer to comic book film, you know, because obviously she's in Batman Returns. Mm-hmm. The bat, the cat, and the bird, I think is what it was entitled, the tagline, because you had Batman, Catwoman, and Penguin, which actually was a really good follow-up to Batman. They hit their mark really well with that one. But yeah, we have Michelle Pfeiffer, which I've always been a mark for Michelle Pfeiffer. I always liked her. But I agree with you. I felt like we hardly got Michelle. We got more, and nothing against Michael Douglas, but I would rather have more Michelle Pfeiffer. You know?
Nothing against Michael, but I'd rather have Michelle.
Who wouldn't? It's Michelle freaking Pfeiffer.
I mean, if we're going, what are we going by here in this hit of yours? Are we going acting ability, or are we going, I'm a man, I like women ability?
No, it's acting ability. I mean, nothing against Michael Douglas. I like Michael Douglas. No, he's okay. Michael Douglas isn't a guy that I would flock to the movie theaters to watch or anything streaming or whatever. You know, like it's not like he's not the guy that draws me in like a Robert.
Like,
not even those stuff.
think.
Yeah, not he's not. He's never really done it for me. I've never really been a mark for Michael Douglas. Really haven't. Just I'm not staying for him. I think he's okay, but I prefer, like I said, De Niro,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, no
yeah,
doubt.
something like that.
As far as old school actors, yeah, Michael Douglas doesn't really stand out to me. But
Uh,
when it's coming like steamy thrillers, I think that's where he was the best at. And obviously, this isn't a steamy thriller, but I've always liked Michael. He goes under the radar for me. So I agree with you in that sense. Like he's not someone I gotta go see.
right.
But so I
He
guess
gets
I
lo-
agree with you.
he gets lost a little bit in this.
He looked lost.
I said I guess he gets lost a little bit in this film, in my opinion. As far as
Um,
like between the Ant Man and Wasp, it's really the dynamic of the three, Ant Man, Wasp, and Hank.
yeah,
Uh, but I don't know, just like I don't know, like I do like that his crew. I like that Scott's crew got more play in this movie than they did in the first. They
yeah.
became a little bit more pivotal. Pivotal.
I thought
Um,
they were better in the first movie than this one.
yeah,
Like even Michael Pena. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I liked him better than the first. I liked everybody better. It's with the exception of Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's Paul Rudd. You're going to get the same. I felt he was just as good in this as he was the last film. Just the film wasn't. And another thing I'll say about this, Walton Goggins, amazing actor, but he's
mhm.
completely wasted in this. It's a one-dimensional villain, and that's kind of the problem Marvel has had for most of their films.
It's really unnecessary, actually.
Yeah,
You know, once you got Ghost in it, he's really unnecessary. And then they reveal Lawrence as being the brain behind
yeah,
uh, Ghost doing what she's doing. You know, it's unnecessary. Then I do like. I want to mention some of the things I did like about this movie. I love the constant use of making reducing things and then magnifying things. Like anything in this movie, like making the you know what I'm saying, like the Pez dispenser, throwing that, and making it big, or the salt shaker, or anything like that. I love that. I love the use of using that technology
yeah.
in cars. Although I'll be terrified driving a little itty bitty car around town. I don't know why she did it. I don't know why was her reason trying to keep him under the radar. I don't know.
I
So like
guess
when she took him from his house when they brought Scott from his house.
I really, I don't know. I mean, it once I don't know. Once Ghost kind of appears, though, it loses its fun. It's just not as fun as it was, and she's not really a villain either. I mean, she lost her family and all that, and she's kind of going in and out. But I, I didn't like I didn't like the story in this movie.
Yeah.
I just Lawrence Fishburne, he did his thing, but he was a good guy backing a villain in a way, and I don't know. It had too many people, in my opinion, in this movie,
Yeah.
and it really
Uh,
wasn't going anywhere.
what do you think about Jimmy Woo making his
Oh,
Randall Park making his
yeah,
debut as Jimmy Woo?
I
Uh,
liked him. I liked him. A little
yeah,
bit
I want
silly.
more. Yeah, I like Woo. You get him more in WandaVision. He pops up in WandaVision.
Yeah, I
But
saw
yeah,
him in that. It's like that's interesting. I liked him. I liked his character. You get more of him than you do the other cop that's married to Lang's wife, ex-wife.
Bobby Cannavale or something like that.
Yeah.
Bobby Cannavale Paxton in this movie.
And his character felt completely different from the original because he didn't like
Oh,
Lang in the
oh, he
first.
loves him in this one. Oh,
Yeah,
he
he's
absolutely.
like it's a 360 here. The ex-wife loves him too, and I'm like, well, I don't understand. You know,
Yeah,
but I love Casey, and
I
I
must
love
say,
the bond there. I mean,
Judy Greer. Now, every time I see Judy Greer, I cannot think about anything other than Michael Myers like destroying her at the end of Halloween Kills. Literally, that's the only thing. Every time I see her now, no matter what I see her in, I'm thinking, "Oh, Michael's gonna get you." Like that's what I immediately think every time I see her in this movie. I was watching, I was like, "Ugh, you're fake, bro. You're about, even though it's a movie, but still, ooh, he destroyed her." But yeah, okay.
or did he?
Oh, she dead. She
Or is
dead.
or
Oh,
is
she dead. She dead. There's
yeah,
no way she survived. There's absolutely no way.
at
But
this
okay.
point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some kind of dream sequence with that.
Oh, I will riot. No, I'm not gonna riot. I can't afford jail. Um, but yeah. So this movie, though, for the most part, though, I agree with you, man. For the most part, it's pretty boring. Um, as far as like, it's not boring, but it's just not. It doesn't live up, like you said. It doesn't
No,
live up to the original.
it's entertaining, but I can't tell you one really memorable scene in the movie. I mean, that you just like it stuck with you because it doesn't. Nothing in this movie sticks with you.
Not like the with the fight scene and the train
Yeah,
crash to, uh, you know, uh, Hornet or whatever he called himself in that one. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, I would say the most. I'm just going from. I watched it last night. The most memorable scene I can think of would probably be Ant-Man coming Giant Man with the boat when he's going for the lab. Walton Goggins has got the lab, and that's probably what sticks out to me the most as far as
uh,
the Ant-Man character.
for me, when he's big man again, and then the him rolling the truck down the road like a skateboard,
Yeah,
like that. I remember that scene, like a scooter or something. But for the most part, like they did that one moment where he had a defective suit and he is stuck in like a little person form.
yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. But just all in all, this
But it was
movie
done
just like,
better in the first movie. You know, they
huh?
were. It was done better in the first movie, shrinking him. That
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was just. I felt they were kind of repeating themselves as well with the shrinking and we've seen him become Giant Man in Civil War, so I just didn't feel like this movie added anything to the character, and it just felt like they were kind of repeating themselves. But it was entertaining. I will say that it was forgettable at times. It's kind of forgettable. I'm not trying to trash it or nothing. It's not very memorable.
yeah, yeah. I thought the nothing's happening behind me. I just heard the noise. But uh, the when Hank goes into the quantum realm
Yeah,
and sees like the parasitical things that every human body has, those little mole looking things.
yeah,
It's crazy that that stuff is in your body, but yeah. Uh, but I thought that was really cool to think about, and it made me think about, wow, we really do have these things living in us every single day of our lives, man. And they live, and it's like crazy that that is a part of the human body. And
yeah.
but I don't know, like the stuff with I don't know. Uh, the funny thing was whenever Scott was playing Michelle Pfeiffer when he was playing Janet.
Oh yeah,
I think that was funny,
yeah. That was
but
that was funny.
no, this movie though. Do you feel like that Marvel? Do you feel like this movie was more of a cash grab for Marvel? Because think about it, it comes out after uh, Infinity War, so it's the first release after Infinity War, but it actually takes place prior to Infinity War.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the post credit is like the day of Infinity War. But do you feel like this movie was more of a cash grab? It doesn't really add anything to the movies going forward,
The only thing,
other than the quantum realm.
the only thing I'll say, why this movie was made, or I feel it was just explaining where Scott was during Infinity War, that he couldn't leave his house, essentially. So that's why he wasn't asked to be fighting Thanos. I thought that's the purpose of the movie, was to explain where he was. But I agree. It doesn't really move anything forward except for the quantum realm. We're getting that in the third movie, even more of that. So, cash grab. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a cash grab. I also think it was like, what's it called? A filler movie.
Filler, yeah.
Fills time until Endgame. Filling that void until Endgame, because you don't want to come out and release Endgame right after Infinity War. Release one more little movie, lift the spirits a bit, then you get the Endgame. But I do feel like it was a filler movie. I really do. It didn't add anything.
Yeah, honestly, it was the hardest part about watching this movie was knowing that I have Infinity War following it, and much rather wanting to watch Infinity War than this movie, because it's just like I just felt like it doesn't like even the comedy in Infinity War is better between Thanos and the Guardians. That stuff was pretty funny. Whereas with this, I feel like it's just like I don't know. It's just like it's an unnecessary movie. Other than like you said, the quantum realm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no,
Sets
and
up
that's
that.
only it sets up that so that they can do time travel, which they could have, I guess, figured that out without it. Maybe they needed Scott to figure that out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because he's crucial to Endgame. So it did help Endgame by including him. It does. So it does have a purpose there. But as far as
Yeah.
as a Ant-Man
So
sequel, it's
now
it's
the
flat.
audio went down because I obviously had another phone call in between the show
Yeah,
because people don't know we're recording a podcast. So I can't hear you. I hope everybody can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
You can't hear me?
I can.
You can.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what to do there. But
It's the problems with doing it on your phone, ladies and gentlemen. He can't hear a word I'm saying. So,
I don't know. I'll figure it out. But give me a moment. Brandon, continue.
I'm gonna continue. Really, what do we talk about here? Like I said, I'll talk a little bit about Walton. His character was really one dimensional. He just didn't really add anything, and it was very similar to Tomb Raider, the villain in Tomb Raider. He's very cookie cutter. He's very one dimensional. He just doesn't really add anything. And Aaron is back. Can you hear me?
Who are you talking about?
I was talking about the villain, about how he's one dimensional, and
Walter Goggins.
yeah, Walton, yeah, and he reminded me of his villain in Tomb Raider because he was so one dimensional. He deserves better. He's a much better actor than that.
Yeah, he was literally unnecessary. But yeah, we can go ahead and give the marks because there's nothing really much to add on to this movie. The storyline. So for those that are watching and want to know the storyline to this movie and not the synopsis, you have Scott Lang in the previous movie went into the quantum realm. Essentially, he went microscopic. He went very, very small.
Yeah,
Uh, and in doing so, while he's in that quantum realm, he came across and didn't even realize came across the original Wasp, Janet, and she implanted a message into his brain or in memory, so that they can locate where she is. They only have certain period of time to locate her and track her and pull her out of the quantum realm, or they gotta wait another. They say what 200 years, 2,000 years, or something like it's ridiculous amount of time.
yeah.
Um, Yeah. So, and then at the same time, there's this character named Ghost whose father was agitated by Hank Pym, trying to mess with quantum science or whatever, and ends up blowing up himself, his wife, and his daughter. But the daughter becomes her body shifts, and she's not really in this presently. She's not
Yeah.
presently here. She's here, but she's not. She's like a ghost. Um, and so she kind of stutters, which was a cool effect of her stuttering from one place to another. Just like it was cool, but I just felt like the character also wasn't as cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a cool effect for her, but she just wasn't. Out of all the villains, like this is not like she's not a villain at all. Honestly,
No, no, not really. No, Walton's really the villain, but he's just so one dimensional, and he has no backstory whatsoever. I don't know if they even explained why he wanted the lab.
yeah.
Maybe
Why did he want the lab? I wanted to know that. Why did I thought about that while I was watching. I was like, why does he want the lab so much? Like, is he trying to sell the stuff for profit? Like, what is?
I would say that's his purpose, but they didn't. It feels like the movie wasn't developed well. It's like maybe they had a rush to get it out or something. I don't know. But one thing I did want to ask before we give our numbers, what did you think of the reason why Hank and Wasp wasn't talking to him because he lost the suit? He went and helped Captain America and he got locked up. What did you think of that whole ordeal?
And he really didn't lose the suit. He just didn't give it back. But yeah,
he told him he lost it.
Yeah.
He told him he got rid of it. What did you think of that whole reason they weren't talking?
I thought that was foolish because Captain America calls you and wants your help. You're gonna respond as Captain America.
Yeah.
It's just like you know Captain America, like literally, hey, Captain America called me and needed my help. Why would I tell him no? Do you know? Like you will not be invited back to be an Avenger. You tell Captain America no.
No, I mean, you're right. Do you like that chemistry, Ant-Man and the Wasp?
It felt forced. It felt like it didn't feel as genuine as I didn't think it felt genuine in first place. It's always these type of movies with these type of relationships are so telegraphed. You know that it's going to happen. You know they're going to fall in love. You know they're going to be a couple. They're just telegraphed.
Yeah.
I've seen parallels between Ant-Man, like Scott and Janet, as far as like the way that she calls her daughter Wasp, calls her Jelly Bean, and he calls his daughter Peanut. Just like the love that they have for the girls. And he says that he's seen a lot of his daughter in Hope, but or a lot of but I don't know, man. Also, what was the point at the end of the movie? Them shrinking all the cars to be in the drive-in. Like, it's ridiculous. There's no purpose to having all the cars out there. Maybe just to give you a feel that you're at a drive-in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I hear you.
I mean, that's a cool thing to do. You can just kind of, but then again, you shrunk down. What if something happens? Something comes up on you, bro. What you gonna do? Bird think that you food, you dead.
Yeah.
Just like things you should think about before you shrink down. Like, why would they drive? Like, I always thought it was like I said earlier when they were driving down the road and they're chasing each other in the cars. I always thought it was so dangerous to be that small driving down the road. There's no way that little car. I don't understand how that little car can outrun like an actual full size vehicle. I don't understand. Dynamically, it wouldn't because how fast it takes for you to try to go. That car, it can cover less time, shorter. Less.
Yeah.
It can cover more places shortly. I don't know. I just thought that it's a movie though, Aaron. It's a movie. Don't.
It is. It's a movie. It's one of those Marvel movies. I don't really have anything else to add. If you want to go
Nothing.
numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's destroy it. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give this movie 2 markouts out of 5. I feel like I felt like it was lackluster. It was under I don't know. It was just there. It's
That's my
like
Doctor
literally,
Strange score, man. That's the lowest score you've given any Marvel movie.
yeah, deservingly. This movie is that
So which one
is
did you
what
like? Did you like this better or Doctor Strange?
I like Doctor Strange a little bit better.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is. It's true. Just I thought I don't know.
So is this like the worst Marvel movie in your opinion?
For me, uh, I don't know. As of right now, and what we watched, yes, Eternals pretty stand out to me. I like Black Widow more now than I did the first time I watched it, so it's not that any longer. Dark World, like I said, is still pretty low. Iron Man 3 moved up a little bit for me. I'm trying to think of just what I thought was pretty bad. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll say that this is probably the worst for me so far.
Wow.
Other than Doctor Strange, like both of them were pretty equally bad, but this one I just felt like was just completely unnecessary. I just felt like it's unnecessary. I didn't like it. It wasted my time, honestly. But yeah, what's your numbers?
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I
3 out of 5.
felt 3 out of 5. It was entertaining, but it really didn't add anything. It really was It was a filler movie, but I was entertained by it. So I'm gonna give it a 3. May I'm probably being generous, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna. I didn't dislike it, so you know.
there you have it.
I didn't want to watch it either.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, I was like, oh, I gotta watch this movie.
because
Um,
I didn't like it that much when I first saw it. I was like, I don't know.
all right, but yeah. So next week we have Infinity War. We'll be back with that. Maybe by that point, I've been seeing Jurassic Dominion or whatever it's called, Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know. But in the meantime, and in between time, and Whitlow,
Oh, I'm Brandon Spivey, but if you like this episode, click like and subscribe.
said it. I try to point at you, but its point is inverted. There you go. Yeah, good job. All right. Well, yeah. If you like it, subscribe, share, uh, like, comment on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this anywhere else, comment. If you're watching this on Facebook, comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know. Did you like this movie? What character did you like in this movie? Uh, we mentioned briefly Lawrence Fishburne's CGI, like the de aging. I was going to ask you about that. What did you think about that before we leave? What did you think about that?
If he would have actually looked like he did in his younger days, I would have loved it. But he looked like his body size. I mean, looked like
Yes, absolutely. Because we know he was a slimmer guy back when he
yeah,
was younger. Like his face looked like I would say Boys in the Hood almost,
yeah,
or even the Nightmare on Elm Street 3. But yeah, but his body was current, and yeah, that's not accurate. That's
yeah.
disproportionate. But all
But
right,
it is really cool that they can do that. I don't know how
that's,
much it would cost, but for older actors, you can CGI that. I mean, if it doesn't cost so much, I would love movies like that with older actors now. I mean, but it probably wouldn't
they
look right if the weight wasn't right.
well, the De Niro one did look like remember, and then we can end it, but it's just interesting. It's interesting thought. The De Niro thing they did in The Irishman. Uh, I think we said that the face didn't look bad, but you could tell it was a 77-year-old man. Like
Yeah,
when he was acting, you could tell that the way he was moving was like an older person. The smartest thing which is easy to do in Halloween Kills, but the smartest thing they did in Halloween Kills is have a younger man play 1974 Michael or whatever, or whatever I forgot the date. I think 74, 74 I want to say. Michael. Uh, I think it might be 74. I'm confusing myself now. But Retro Michael
yeah,
and the younger guy that moved young. instead of having like James Jude Courtney play him when he's younger. You know, but I think you could do that with the Marvel movies. Like if they DH, say somebody in a movie,
I mean, they did it with
have
Sam.
someone be a body. Yeah, have somebody be a body, stand there as a body double. But just put the face. Yeah, it works. It'll work that way.
Yeah, and they did it for Sam and Captain Marvel, which, I mean, he still looks, body-wise, length-wise, he still looks pretty much the same. He's not really gained a lot of weight. I mean,
Yeah.
from my memory of him when he was younger. But,
But that and Captain Marvel took place in 93, 94, maybe. I was 90 something.
it was
But
90. Oh, I know.
his body, uh, Sam Jackson's body then was pretty similar to that. I think he put on a lot more weight now than I don't know. Well, if you think about it, because in the '90s, so we had Reservoir Dogs, not Reservoir Dogs, but
Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction. Yeah, he was pretty slim in Pulp Fiction. I felt.
Yeah.
Um, that's my first time really experiencing Sam Jackson. But, all right, we can end this. Thank you all for watching us. We'll be back next week for it. Endgame, not Infinity War, not Endgame. So, thank you.
Thank you.